The way we lead impacts the way people live. This world needs truly human leadership.
I accept the awesome responsibility of leadership.
I accept the awesome responsibility.
I accept the awesome responsibility of leadership.
I accept the awesome responsibility of leadership.
I accept the awesome responsibility of leadership.
I'm Brent Stewart, your host. Thanks for listening. This podcast is an outreach of Barry-Wehmiller. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Barry-Wehmiller, and find our podcasts, articles, and videos at trulyhumanleadership.com. At Barry-Wehmiller, we consider leadership to be an awesome responsibility. It holds the key to growing our business, but as important, improving the lives of our team members. So it's of great importance that all former leaders throughout Barry-Wehmiller be accountable to fulfilling the essential responsibilities of leadership. And part of that is helping the team members in our span of care understand how they, as individuals, contribute each day to our organization and our shared purpose and vision. It's our job as leaders to help them establish goals so they know how to contribute, to remove barriers that get in the way of them achieving their goals, and to help them chart a path for their growth. Our team members deserve that, and consequently, if we're asking them to contribute, we must ensure that they are led by leaders who have the skills to help them perform and the courage to care about them along the way. Now, a few years ago, we introduced team member expectations and commitments to educate all our team members within Barry-Wehmiller about what was expected of us in our roles and the essential actions to undertake and keep in mind daily. But at the same time, we also introduced leader expectations and commitments, developed to help all formal leaders throughout Barry-Wehmiller with team members in their span of care understand the actions and skills needed to embody truly human leadership. And the 5 leader expectations are: be the message, cultivate enduring relationships, bring out the best in each individual, achieve values-based results, and co-create the future. So those 5 expectations are fulfilled through the 10 commitments, which are demonstrate self-awareness, develop talent, direct work, drive engagement, drive vision and purpose, ensure accountability, leverage business insight, manage complexity, plan and align, and value differences. On this podcast, we thought we'd explore Barry-Wehmiller's leader expectations and commitments through 5 outstanding leaders in our organization. You'll get to hear how they view these expectations in the scope of their responsibilities and how they try to apply the commitments in their daily interactions and leadership of those within their span of care. And we're going to start off with Rachna Kreeth, who's the COO and CFO of BW Packaging, our group of companies who provide packaging equipment to companies for use in the food, beverage, personal care, household, pharmaceutical, and other industries. Rachna talks about how to be the message and what that means. She also talks about feedback, accountability, how our company values are important to her and her family. So here's Rachna Kreeth.
To me, being the message is 100% about advocating for our team members and setting them up for success. The skills that serve me really well around this concept of leadership really are 5. I think there's empathy. So really understanding, similar to feedback, understanding that everyone's reality is different and it's personal. And so when I make a decision, understanding that how somebody might receive that decision or how it might impact somebody isn't always in how I think about it. So for me, that empathy piece in leadership is critical. And the second one is really about being forever curious. I think one of the worst things that we can do is to stop asking a question, to just accept status quo. And so I deploy that a lot. I learn a lot. I'm open to learning, but I can only do that if I ask a question or 2 or 3, and then listen to the answers, connect those dots to other things I'm hearing. So the third one is really around knowing your vision, knowing the outcomes that you expect. And so as a leader, it's really important to think at that bigger level, understand the vision, understand the outcomes, but not necessarily in the how or the what. In this type of a leadership role, you really need to work and engage your team members to go figure out the how and the what. And then the role of a leader is to support them in ensuring that you get to those outcomes. So that's really number 4 for me, is the engagement of our team members. So engaging people in that vision, helping them really concretely understand the why is number 4. And then number 5 is just support. And so support looks like putting team members in the right places, giving them the resources. Removing obstacles is a really critical part of how I lead. My role is to support team members to enable them to do their jobs. So removing obstacles, providing feedback along the way, providing connections. I might be in a conversation over here, hear something. I need to tell a team member, hey, I heard this, go look at that. That's the awesome responsibility and how and what it looks like on a daily basis. So feedback is a gift, but it's not a gift if you don't get it in a way that you can actually receive it. So that's always the first thing for me, is how is feedback best received for any individual person? I think that's true at home. I think that's true at work. When you're getting feedback, I personally deploy a rule that says, I'm going to listen. I'm not going to process. I'm not going to judge. I'm going to listen. The only thing I let myself do is to clarify, what am I hearing? Did I hear it right? How did it make somebody feel? So perception is reality. Just because I didn't intend for something to feel a certain way, it likely may have felt the way the person is describing it. So hearing that is kind of the critical piece. Then giving yourself space to process it, reflect on it, then act on it is kind of a second step that you do away from the conversation. That's why I think it's super important, but doing it the right way is critical to ensuring that it lands the right result. Accountability starts with the why. You have to be able to be clear. I talked about vision, talked about knowing the outcomes, but really understanding the why of what you're trying to do and being able to articulate the why is key. The second part is then being very clear on the roles that people play within the going after the why. So if you're clear on the expectations, clear on the roles, clear on the why to start with, I often find then it comes down to trust and relationships, and accountability is sort of the aftermath of that. If you've got number 1 on the why and number 2 on clarity of expectations and roles, then it's really about shared vision. And I often find that things don't move only because you don't have time, resources, or priority setting. And so that again comes back to the role of a leader, and accountability becomes what I'll call easy when you are following those steps. For those that don't know, my husband, Eric, works at Barry-Wehmiller as well. And so we talk about work a lot because we love it, but also because as spouses do, you talk about what happened in your day. I am thankful and honored to be able to work at Barry-Wehmiller, where my value system at home that I teach my kids aligns with what we're doing here. And so for me, when I think about it, I need him or my other 2 children, Karen and Elena, to be proud of what I do. And so their influence, their ability to hear and see conversations needs to align with what I do at work. And I am fully sure that they currently feel that. It is aligned personally from a value system. And I'm super, super thrilled and lucky to have the opportunity to know that that's true every day.
Sebastian Vega is a partner in Barry-Wehmiller Design Group, our company that's a provider of engineering, consulting, and technical services to the world's leading companies in food and beverage, life sciences, advanced technology, industrial, and other market sectors. Sebastian talks about what it means to cultivate enduring relationships as a leader.
Leadership is an awesome responsibility because you get the opportunity to impact the lives of the professionals that are under your care and make sure that they can develop their careers within the Barry-Wehmiller organization, enjoy what they do, grow in their capabilities, and truly learn how to be leaders themselves. Cultivating enduring relationships means a lot to me after I've been here in the company for over 28 years. We have to always worry about developing work and executing work at the highest performance level. The only way to be able to do that is in a collaborative manner, and you create those relationships of collaboration through actually getting yourself engaged with them at a much more personal level. Some of the tips that I would say that I would have in order to build those enduring relationships really come from having that day-to-day relationship with our professionals, showing that we care about how they feel, what they're going through, allowing them to understand that we've actually gone through those things as well, and maybe even discussing with them what is it that we believe we actually had to do in order to basically get those things completed. Now, when it comes to feedback about how they improve, it needs to be private, and it needs to be done in an environment where the person is ready to receive the feedback, and also the person is ready to also act upon that feedback as they receive that information. In the heat of the battle is usually not the best place to do it, although there are instances where you should be able to have that enduring relationship, that connection with them, that should basically allow you to say something short enough for them to understand, hey, I know that we're under pressure, I know that we're having a lot of things going on, but hey, listen to this, let's make sure that we improve it. And I found that over time, it's been very helpful, not only for projects, but also for that professional to be able to have those communications at the right moment to allow them to really move forward and be better. Leadership needs to have a vision and a strategy piece in order to truly take people out of their day-to-day pressures and issues and commitments and all the things that they have to think about to get through the work that they have to get accomplished, and really get them moving into that next level that they don't even think that they're able to do. When you look at vision and strategy, right, it is key that we connect it with their own career goals and allow them to see how those career goals are truly, as they improve and they get better and they are able to actually have a larger sphere of influence, they're also capable of impacting the larger vision and the larger strategy of the organization. Valuing differences is something that I strive to do on a daily basis. When you look at it, coming from having been born outside of the U.S., and really coming here as an adult, getting my education here, and then eventually having my full professional career with Design Group, has allowed me to really see great cultural differences from where I came from to where I am today. As I've taken that into my own leadership style, what I found and what I've encountered is that the more you understand how different people are, the more you understand how similar we are to each other. But at the same time, there is an importance in understanding that those small differences are really what's going to allow us to place people in their right position so they can be the most successful at what they do. There's nothing worse than having leaders that don't take the time to understand a person's capabilities, a person's origin, background, what they come from and what they do, to truly actually understand how they can be the best that they can be. So I take a lot of time and a lot of effort in making sure that I understand that as we go through different projects and different opportunities for our professionals. In my life, what I've seen is the amount of time and effort that you put on people comes back 100 times back. It comes back in many different ways, not only the way that it impacts the organization, but it also comes back in really the enjoyment of the professionals and those professionals truly creating and cultivating enduring relationships with you. I feel that if you are involved and you're a part of the organization and you trust the organization will give you back the same. That's something that's been demonstrated to me over the last 28 years, and that's something that I believe should continue to happen through the leadership of the professionals that are going to come into this organization in the future.
George Sin is a production leader for our BW Paper Systems company that produces machines that turn paper into consumer goods. If you look around your house, you'll most likely find an item made by those machines for one of our customers. A shipping box from an online order, a pizza box from last night's dinner, stationery, maybe a passport. George talks about what we mean when we say that leaders should help co-create the future, including planning for the future, valuing differences, managing complexity, and using operational excellence tools.
I'm George Sen. I've been with Barry-Wehmiller for 35 years, starting in 1987. I'm currently down in southern Wisconsin, overseeing Sheboygan and New Berlin manufacturing. I have 5 people under my care, direct leaders, and underneath them I have a little over 100 people reports. Co-creating the future, to me, that one of the first important steps is building the foundation with your team, listening to people, communicating to them, giving them good standard work processes so they can be successful. If we do the little things right, I always say if we do the 80% right and we work at that, the 20% of the chaotic stuff that we run across, we can manage it and we can still spend a lot of time on continuous improvements with the team. If we don't do that, what we find out, we're always in chaos, we're always struggling, the team's always in distress. So I always tell the team, work on foundational tools first. And once we do that, we can go to the next step of Kaizen events, flow, process improvements, because the rest of the business is stable to allow us time, even though we're extremely busy, we can make time to use our tools. Some of the leaders that I'm coaching and mentoring, they struggle with holding just the fundamental touch meeting. So I kind of work with quick start cards of, work with them. What do you want to relay to your team? How do you want to do it? A consistent message. So when they come to these meetings, they kind of expect what the meeting's going to be. They know what they can bring to the meeting for questions or support, and they see value in the meeting. So without these tools, they were coming to the meetings like, I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys got anything? And they leave, and people would say, well, this is not what we want to do. So you kind of got to plan for success, plan for the meetings. Yeah. Valuing difference is important to the team. Is we all come from different backgrounds. We got different skill sets, and the flexibility you have in a well-rounded team. We have different experiences to share, different ideas, and that's something that I've always been really open to, because I think I might know the best idea, but once you start listening to your team and you don't cut them off, you pause, you let them explain their whole story, you start like, you know what, that can work, and that's part of empowering people. Go ahead, try it. I've been doing this for years. I tell people, go ahead. If you make a mistake, I got your back. We'll do PDCA. I'll help you. So, because people are scared to make a mistake. Everybody wants to do everything perfect the first time. It's like, don't worry. Try it. The fact that you're trying means a lot to me as a leader. And I'll do whatever I can to help you to succeed. Managing complexity, one of the most challenging ones I've had just in the last few years was the cutter in New Berlin. It was one of the units when I first came here that people said that it can never be built anywhere else. It'll take 5 to 10 years to learn how to build this piece of equipment. But yet at the same time, this equipment was preventing us from growing our business because of the lead times and the technical knowledge to do it. So we started working with the team with standard work, picture books, getting more people involved with training. And next thing we know, we started reducing that time that it took to learn this piece of equipment. Everybody said, George, if you got to move a piece of equipment to level, do not do the cutter. Well, the first one we actually moved to Sheboygan was the cutter because we needed to, because the business required to do it. And by working with the team and with the MEs and the engineering team, we really had to collaborate amongst a lot of fronts, procurement, to make this happen. So we can do it. We're in the process of finishing our second one. 10, 15 years ago was about the period where I had a leader that kept bringing up all these new tools, and I was kind of thirsting for as a leader of how can I help my team, but I didn't know. So by listening to him and him sharing all these different tools, I was like a kid in a candy store, like, wow, this tool could really help my team out. And part of the reason I like tools is because before Barry-Wehmiller, we had a lot of layoffs. People were come and go. We had a lot of layoffs. So the stability of using these tools to do whatever I can to help secure my team members' future was always important to me after going through that cycle. And I thought if I could do anything to help my team to prevent going to the grocery store, seeing family members that I had to give the papers for layoff because the business wasn't strong, lasted forever in my career, and why I'm so highly motivated to make positive influence with our team.
Tammy Doss is a parts sales leader in our BW Converting platform. This is our group of companies who make machines that produce and package household items like toilet paper, tissue, hygiene products, and other paper-related products. Tammy talks about bringing out the best in each individual while touching on recognition and celebration, ensuring accountability, and Tammy also gives some advice to new leaders.
It's really important for leaders to bring out the best in individuals in order for the team to continue its growth. It's important for each individual to feel that they contribute and that each day when they come into work that they're bringing their skills, their talents, and they have the ability to apply them. For me, it's very important that I am meeting with team members on a one-on-one basis, on a monthly situation or on a monthly basis, in order to understand how well they're doing with the goals that they've set for themselves, as well as how those goals also meet the objectives for the team. Once those two goals are in harmony, the team is able to continue to move forward. It's important to understand during those one-on-ones what each individual feels are their contributions, their individual contributions, and to be able to take those particular goals and speak to them each month saying, okay, here's what we've achieved so far in the previous month, and here's where we want to continue to grow and utilize those goals. The idea is small little goals to be able to get you to the really big stretch goal, and make sure that you celebrate and talk about each time that you're able to achieve that. Recognition and celebration is very important, and making sure that you take opportunities, whether they're small or they're big, to be able to recognize individuals or as a team. It's also very important with recognition that you are recognizing individuals in ways that they choose to. Some individuals crave the attention, so I make sure that I spend time during team meetings or team huddles to be able to recognize those individuals and making sure that the team is aware of the achievement. Even if it's an individual that prefers not to have public recognition, I do, in a very slight way and with their approval, bring it up during a team meeting to say, hey, we were able to achieve X. And here's the reason why, and I don't have to necessarily say who it was, and sometimes the team can figure it out on their own and then privately recognize that particular individual. But it's really important that we're recognizing individuals based on their desire and the method that they choose to. It's very important as a leader to assure accountability, and I see that as a main responsibility of ours. It's not just a responsibility to the business, but it's a responsibility to the team. At times, there are going to be situations that are going to be really difficult to address. If you ignore them, they continue to impact the team and the team's morale. In the end, it actually impacts the company, and the customer can feel that situation too. By addressing those difficult situations, you're trying to do it in a way that's going to help that individual grow and grow within their position, grow within their responsibility. And in the end, they end up being a really great contributor to the team. My advice to new leaders is to look for really great mentors around you. I have been in leadership for 33 years. And when I first started, my particular leader really didn't have time to be able to mentor me personally. What I ended up doing was finding a leader that was truly respected by me and by other individuals within the company. I spent some time with that particular individual, lunches, after work, and I did set up meetings, on a regular basis with that individual. Shared some of the situations that I was going through, shared some of the growth and the goals that I was trying to achieve with the team, and getting some advice from them. But look for those people that are very well respected within the company. They have a lot to be able to share with you, and it'll definitely help you and your team achieve those particular goals.
Our final leader and final expectation is from Brian Strini, from our machine solutions company that designs and builds advanced equipment for the medical device, biopharmaceutical, and blood and plasma collection industries. And Brian's going to talk about achieving values-based results. He'll also touch on continuous improvement, ensuring accountability, driving engagement, and gives advice to new leaders while telling a personal story that illustrates how his role and company mission is important to him.
For me as a leader, achieving value-based results really means centering ourselves around a common platform of values that we all agree upon and that guide us in our interactions daily, how we treat each other, how we treat our customers, how we treat our community. It allows us all to pull in the same direction and really work together to achieve our goals and our visions. We have goals that each of our team members work towards that are tied directly to the organization or departmental goals, and this really allows that team member to connect what they're doing with the results that we're looking for. One of our core values is continuous improvement, and this is an area that we excel at. It's been part of our culture and our daily work for the past decade, and really was spearheaded by Dick Ryan from Barry-Wehmiller and helped us construct our step change initiatives and our process. That process is carried throughout the organization. It touches all of our departments and team members and really gives an avenue for our team members to have their voice heard and then to be able to actively support and participate in those continuous improvement activities. That really continues to drive our business and moves us forward, keeps us always on our toes and looking for better ways to do things. Owning team commitments is also a critical part of making sure that we are successful. We want to be able to hold people accountable for their actions and for their goals. And so what we typically do is assign a leader to any initiative or various goal with some measurable metrics. That owner or that leader of that given initiative then reports out on a periodic basis to the leadership team, which then ensures that we're all on the same page and that we're seeing the accountability for any given item owned by that particular team member. Inspiring team members to create value for the organization and fellow team members is also a key area. When you look at that inspiration, it can come from various methods. And we are very open about our goals and our vision and connecting people on how they can help support or achieve those goals. We take that a step further with our medical focus to where we really connect what we're doing on a daily basis to the greater good of the world. A lot of our devices that our machines create are going to change or save a life. So inspiring our team members can come from leadership, but it also comes from within. When a team member sees another stepping up or going that extra mile because they understand the positive impact of what they're doing has for organization or for the world, it really is an inspirational moment for others to reflect on and drive behavior. Like I said, this could come from leadership, or more often than not, it comes from our peers. Another piece of advice I would give to a growing or aspiring leader is to not hold a grudge. Accept that people make mistakes, resolve that issue, and then move forward. You don't want to get trapped into that resentment or that area where you just don't feel comfortable or connected to a person because of some past wrongs. If you can put it aside through resolution and move forward with that team member, you're going to build a brighter, more fruitful relationship, which will benefit both of you and the company overall. The daily work that we do at Machine Solutions is often very technical in nature. From engineering to machining, assembly to quality, where we're really examining things down to the thousandths of an inch. So we can get very focused on that technical nature, but we also have a very personal side to what we do. From my own perspective, my father, about a year ago, had to have a heart valve replaced. It was a transcatheter procedure, and one of the machines that we build here at Machine Solutions was integral in the production of that device. So that was a very close to the heart and connected area for me to know that what I'm doing on a daily basis has improved my own father's life. And we have lots of other team members that have had similar experiences across the company.
Our hope with this podcast is that you hear how we are doing things within our organization to institutionalize truly human leadership and give our leaders the skills and courage to care. And you think about your own organization. You think about your leaders. What values guides their decisions? Leadership is hard work. It is an awesome responsibility. It requires knowledge and training and trial and error. It requires feedback, reflection, persistence. But your personal investment in the work of leadership is worth it. Your team members deserve to be cared for and coached by truly human leaders so they can contribute, grow, and be fulfilled. Truly human leadership is an awesome responsibility. Are you ready to accept it? Don't forget to find and connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, at Barry-Wehmiller, and you'll find more podcasts, articles, and videos at trulyhumanleadership.com. I'm Brent Stewart. Thanks for listening.